Okay, 2.4, slope of parallel and perpendicular lines. The only thing we are going to be doing are writing equations of lines for parallel and perpendicular. Parallel lines never meet, correct?
Yep.
Perpendicular lines meet at a right angle, 90-degree angle. So today we're focusing on parallel. Tomorrow we're focusing on perpendicular. So we have first slope. Slope, there's an equation for slope. Slope is rise over run, change of y over change of x. But the if you want to put rise over run, you can put rise over run. Delta y over delta x. Delta just means change. You use that a lot in science. Slope is used in science and every math from algebra 1 to an end of time. And the equation is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I expect you to know it. I expect you to be able to use it. That's it. You worked a lot with it in Algebra 1, and you're never going to stop working with it. Calculus was just using it the other day for average rate of change. Isn't that the same thing as slope? Yes. Okay. So it says two non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if their slopes, bless you, are equal. Oh, I forgot an L on parallel. No one caught it? You didn't spell check me yet? Okay. Two non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. And any two vertical / horizontal. And I know your line isn't big enough, but I thought about it afterwards. The book just talks about vertical, but aren't horizontal lines also parallel? If I take two vertical lines, they're parallel. If I have two horizontal lines, they are also what? Parallel. So I have a picture of two vertical lines. You could also draw yourself a picture of two horizontal lines if you would like. Remember the equation of a vertical line is x equals a number, correct? Because x is always sixth. Mm-hmm. Okay. And a horizontal line is y equals n. So a horizontal line is, right? Good. So the next slide is, are K and N parallel? So for K and N to be parallel, they have to have the same what? Slope. So the slope of K and the slope of N. So I have to have good points, don't I? So let's see. Is that a good point for K?
Yeah.
And then we need another one. Is that a good point?
Yeah.
And then N. 1, 2 looks good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. How about 4, negative 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I count the slope, don't I? So on K, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Okay, and can you please take your hood off? And then the slope of n. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And 1, 2, 3 over. So, are they parallel?
Yeah. No.
For them to be parallel, they have to have what?
The same slope.
Do they have the same slope?
No.
No. So, we write not parallel. Because why? Okay, do I have my math to show that? Do I have my words to explain it?
Yes.
Yes. So your answer is not complete with a yes or a no. So now I want you guys to look if M and Q are parallel. So do it on your own, please. Cooper, yes or no? Are M and Q parallel?
I couldn't find one for N.
You couldn't find points for M?
No.
What about like right here and right here? Count it.
Weighted on that.
Hmm?
Right there. It'd be -1 and 4.
It would be up 1 and over 3, so it'd be 1/3.
I don't know.
I went down.
Well, if you go down 1 and left 3, it's still positive 1/3.
Never mind.
Because a negative and a negative.
Whoops.
Okay. And Q, I went from here to here. So I went up 2 and over 5. So I got 2/5. You guys agree? Are they parallel?
No, they're not.
No, for the same reason, correct? Okay, you're not going to be doing that, but I wanted you to see the lines. Do they look kind of parallel?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, but if you look closely, down here, don't they start to come together a little bit?
I don't know.
Yeah? And over here, don't they start to come together a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, from where they are out here. So we can't trust that our picture, we're like, oh, those look parallel. We can't trust that, can we? So that's why when you guys say they look parallel, I'm like, nope. Okay, so we're going to be writing equations of lines, yes? Yes. Okay, so we need to remember that linear equation in slope-intercept form is y equals, anybody want to help me out?
Next must be
mx plus b, where m equals,
X.
no,
What?
m doesn't equal x. It's m times x, but what's m?
The slope?
The slope. And what's b?
Y.
The y-intercept. That's in the name, isn't it? Slope-intercept form. It is the y-intercept. Well, y-intercept means where it crosses what? The y-axis. Okay, so we are going to be writing equations. There are four variables in this equation. Yes? There's a point, an x and a y, an m and a b. Correct in my statement? So as long as I have 3 of the 4 of these variables, can I find the other one? Yes?
Yeah.
Every equation will have an m and a b. What's m again? Slope. And everything today is parallel, so they'll have the same slope, correct? Will they have the same y-intercept, though?
No.
No. We're going to have to be finding y-intercepts. So you have a worksheet with 20 problems. You're going to be doing the first 10 of them. The first 10 are parallel, perpendiculars tomorrow. So let's do a couple practice ones. Okay. So it says, what is the equation of a line that is parallel to the given line? So this is a given line right here. Right here. This line has a y-intercept of what?
Negative.
-3. Yes?
Yeah.
Lyndon, you pop your gum again. I'm going to ask you to throw it away. And has a slope of up 1 over 2.
This week I don't have them.
Up 1 over 2. So this line looks like this. Yes? So I need a line. I'm going to write an equation of a line that is parallel to that. So what's it going to look like? It's going to look something like this, correct?
Yeah.
So I should already know the slope because their slopes have to be what?
Go.
To be parallel, the slopes have to be what?
Same.
The same. Okay? So what is the slope of this line?
1 over 2.
1 over 2. So m equals 1 over 2, and my new line is going to pass through this. So after I get my slope, I don't need this any longer. Making sense?
Yeah.
So I need to find the equation of this line somewhere over here. I don't know exactly where it's at, but it's going to have the same slope, right? And it's going to go through 4, 1. So I have an x, and I have a y, and I have an m. Do I have enough to plug into y equals mx plus b?
Yes.
Yes. So the first thing you do is identify your slope. The next thing you do is plug it into y equals mx plus b to find your what?
Y-intercept.
Your y-intercept. So what's y?
1.
1 equals slope
1 over 2.
x
4.
plus b. Now, are you going to be dealing with fractions today?
Yes.
Yes. You have to remember the rules on adding, subtracting, multiplying by fractions. You do. So, half of 4 is what?
2.
2.
You can't do it.
Then what? Subtract 2, so b is what?
Negative one.
-1. So I have b and I have m. Can I plug them back into my y equals mx plus b and have an equation?
Yes.
Yes. So y equals m. What's m?
1 over 2.
1 over 2 times x. And plus b, but b is negative, so I just put what? -1. What if there isn't a b there? What is the b?
0.
0. What if there isn't what if there isn't an x there? What's your slope?
0.
0. Questions on that, guys?
So is that our final answer?
Yes. This right here is our final answer. When I grade these, I'm looking for your m, your b, and your final answer,
So you want like 3?
basically.
Alright.
So, what was the only thing I used this original equation for? To get the what?
The M.
The m. And then after that, you use the point and the slope you found, right? Okay, so again, write an equation that is parallel to the given line and passes through point T. So here's my line I want to be parallel to, and I have to pass through this point, and it is x, y. I would advise you guys to label those x, y, because I had 3 people last hour working labeling that point wrong. Points are always x, y, aren't they? Okay, so slope is the coefficient of x. So what is my slope I'm going to use?
-3.
-3. Does everyone see that? What happens if, like, that wasn't there? What would my slope be?
0.
0. And y equals 2 would be a horizontal line, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I have an m, an x, and a y. Am I ready to go?
Yes.
Yep, I'm just going to plug it right into that, aren't I? So y,
1.
1, equals m,
-3.
x,
3.
plus b. So that gives me 1 equals -9 plus b. So b is 10. So b is 10, m is -3. Can I plug it back into my equation then?
Yeah.
So y equals m,
-3.
x plus b. Every single problem, guys, it doesn't matter what the numbers look like, does it? No. Questions? I have 2 examples I'm going to do for you. 2 more. Now, I know they're not on your paper, but if you want to draw them on your sides or you just want to just watch, whatever. Okay? So, I want parallel. Parallel, that means parallel, right? To y equals 7/5 x plus 4. And goes through I don't know, something obnoxious. -2, 4. How about that? Sound good? Okay. So m is what? 7/5. So I have 7/5 for m. And I have an x and a y. So can I plug it in?
Yes.
So y equals mx plus b. So y is
4.
4 equals m, 7/5 times x
-2.
plus b. Now, this is 2 over 1, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and 2 doesn't go into 5, does it?
No.
No. So 7 times -2 is
-14.
-14/5 plus b. So now I just have to do math with fractions. So it's +14/5, so it's -14/5, so I have to what?
Add it over.
Add 14/5. Now, this is 4 over 1, correct?
Yeah.
So I have to get common denominator, which is going to be 5. So I'm just going to put it to the side. Well, I have to multiply 1 by 5 to get it to 5, don't I?
Yeah.
So what do I have to do to 20? I mean,
The 4 to 20.
yeah, the 4 to 20 because I have to multiply it times 5, right? So now I have 20 plus 14 is what?
34.
34. So B equals 34 fifths. Do I have my slope and my slope and my y-intercept?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, was it pretty?
No.
No. Did I change how I did this problem at all?
No.
No. The only thing I did is I had to get common denominators. Are you going to have to do that once in a while? Yes. So, parallel to y equals negative 10 and goes through, give me a point, Henry.
2.
A point. You got to give me the whole point. To what?
2 negative 8.
2, negative 8. Okay? What kind of a line is that? What's the slope?
Negative 10 over 1.
What's the slope? 0. Because is there 1?
No.
No. It doesn't have an x, does it? So for the x to be away, the slope had to be 0, doesn't it? What kind of a line is that has a 0 line, a 0 slope then? Horizontal, yes? So the y here is negative 10 every time, right? So I need a horizontal line that runs through that point. It's going to have to be y equals what?
Negative 8.
Negative 8. See that? Why is it negative 8, Andrea?
Because that's the y.
Because that's the y. Okay? Same point. What if I say x equals 16 and goes through 2, negative 8?
It'd be a vertical.
That'd be a vertical line, yes?
And next would be 2.
And x would be 2. So if you have a horizontal or vertical, isn't that easier actually? Okay? So that's it. That's all you got.